Hey everybody, Joseph Adams here, and I wanted to talk about my lecture series coming up this February. This will be the second installment, the second time of running this lecture series, and I couldn't be more excited. And I had a wonderful time uh, doing this program this past fall. It has been a learning experience, and I'm just really excited and happy with how the program unwinded, how we were able to connect the dots to what does it mean to be alive? What does it mean to be a part of this reality? And what are the things that we need to know? So this is a very difficult life experience. We know that there are a lot of challenges, a lot of questions, uncertainties, and we just want to know more and more and more. But what this program is going to do is teach on what it means to make it to the next level, to bring clarity, to bring light to the many difficult concepts that we get hung up on. How do we make it into the heart? What does it mean to heal the shadow? How our mind chooses, how it wishes to evolve itself. Are we in service to ourselves or are we in service to others? These are the main topics, the foundations to which our consciousness grows. This is what I talk about during the program. This is the meaningful questions we're going to get answers to. And when we get these answers, boom, there's a lot more light that's shed on these difficult topics, and we can make progress, we can make growth, and we can have a deeper understanding to what it means to heal, to love, to make it to the next level. So these are some of the courses that we're going to go talk about and that we're going to be able to experience from this winter's lecture series. So the first is, and I always start with this one, the emotional keys to ascension. Now, the emotional keys, what does that mean? Well, it means this. There are particular emotions that when we embody, they propel our consciousness higher. There are particular emotions that keep us in alignment with our highest expression, with our divine truth. And there are emotions that allow us to learn in a quick way. Because when we tap into, let's say, for instance, sincerity, sincerity should be a baseline emotion for when we are making a choice in which we don't know whether we should go right or left. Sincerity is telling the universe that I don't know, but I'm willing to learn. And when you're willing to learn under these foundational emotions and constructs, we're able to make the most out of our experience. And sincerity is a huge emotion, and I will elaborate on so many other emotions that are related and are connected and provide a background to how we gain inertia. Because in the emotional keys to ascension, we learn that we're building a force. We are building a force that is comprised of our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, and how they reflect our choice of service, which means when we choose to be in service of others, which most of us are, most people are kind, most people care. And when we begin to align these behaviors within our choice of service, then we begin to develop a force. This force is our power, and this force is what drives us forward. So that's the emotional keys to ascension. That's where we begin, and that's where we learn the foundations to what does it mean to make it to love. Because love is the answer, but it's not always easy finding the path. And this is where it begins. So then we go on to crystals. Everybody wants to work with crystals, but not everybody knows the proper relationship that we're meant to have. Because when you work with crystals, it's about them assisting us in creating the reality in which we want to have. They are teachers and they are helping us. And when we learn the proper relationship, the effects and the experience, it's on another level. We begin to make the most out of these connections, and they become the true spiritual catalysts that they are. So, crystals is a deep one. Uh, Crystals really help assist us in just a rapid spiritual evolution. And one of the crystals we will talk on is a stone called Moldavite. It basically started my journey. It allowed me to accelerate on a very rapid pace. And we will go over so many other crystals, the ones you have to have, the top five, all of them in between. But it's most importantly, the relationship, because when you really know how to connect to them, that's when we get all of the experience. It doesn't matter what crystal we're working with when we know the language. And that's what we're going to learn in the crystal class. The next one is lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming. I would not be here if it wasn't for my dreaming ability. I would not be sitting teaching this course, giving this talk right now, if it wasn't for my beginnings in the art of dreaming. Because we will come to find out through the lucid dreaming course is that when we learn how to dream, we are able to receive divine guidance from our higher powers, from our guides that show us and can tell us where we need to turn next. What emotions do we need to be working on? What is a theme that needs more acknowledgement? Because the ego provides many deep layers of mystery. It clouds a lot of our perception, and it creates a lot of blocks to ourselves, to our process of self realization. And when we learn how to dream, we can easily get that information from our higher power, just like magic. And it starts with intention and it ends with focus. These are the driving forces that we'll talk about, that we're going to elaborate on in the lucid dreaming course. Now, another course that we're going to talk about is the how do we heal the shadow. Now, we are disempowered from our tough and challenging experiences in life. All of our trauma, all of the hurt relationships, any type of emotional wounds that we carry, it is literally little pieces of ourself that are stripped away, little pieces of our happiness that we no longer have access to. So I put so much emphasis into the art of reclaiming your shadow, integrating your shadow, becoming one with the hurt pieces, reclaiming those past experiences, because that's where you get your power from. You're not going to get your power from activating your spiritual energies. You're not going to get more powerful from doing that. You may open your perspective, your perception a little bit more, but you have power that has separated from you through those challenges in life. And we must go back to the past, reclaim those pieces. And I'll explain exactly how we're going to do that. How do we bring in something that was challenging and re-harmonize it? Well, it has a lot to do with frequencies and embodying our emotions. Because when we learn the emotional keys, we will become acclimated to the emotions and the frequencies that bring harmony back to the self. And there is a way to transfer those harmonic frequencies to the shadows, thus helping integrate and rebalance ourselves. Because one of the issues that the shadows do is that when we have a challenging experience that takes away from our ability to be happy, is it strips away our ability to feel secure. And when we don't feel secure, we don't feel comfortable. And when we don't feel comfortable, it's harder for our awareness to ascend or to move into higher states of joy, of peace, and bliss. So when we understand what security provides for us, we begin to build our foundation, and our foundation gets stronger when we integrate our shadow. Most of how I learned to achieve the highest states of consciousness and meditation is from the shadow work that I do and that I teach, because it works. And when it works, people get more secure. Security is the foundation to higher consciousness. So it makes the most sense to go after your insecurities. And this is what we will go over in Healing the Shadow. Now, these are just the first couple courses that we're going to talk about in the lecture series. There are so many more. This program is 16 weeks of courses. Every week, we will get a new lecture. The lectures have been running about 60 minutes to um, about 80 minutes. Now, some were a little bit longer and some were right at an hour, but the average is probably about a 70-minute live lecture every week, and it's going to be Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. And for those who will not be able to make the live recording of the lecture, it will be recorded and it will be sent to all the students so that they can listen to it at their leisure. So there's no problem there. Another addition to this program is I am going to offer 4 hours of remote connection with all the attendees, in which I build a crystal grid. I connect each individual to this grid, and I begin transferring divine frequency. Now, this 4 hours is to help supplement, to help us grow, to help us receive catalyst, because the soul is looking for catalysts to propel the incarnation to the next level of growth and development. And coming from my background, I've been healing for some time now. It is my gift and it is one of the abilities that I wish to share with everyone. So I know how important it is to receive spiritual catalyst. And I have received so much of this information from this course from my direct experiences working with individuals and bringing this wisdom and knowledge about how consciousness works, how we connect with each other, and what it means to help each other out through growth, through development, through healing, through catalyst. This is what I want to share with everyone. So for more information, you can go to my website, www.josephadamshealing.com. You can click on the button above lecture series, and we are going to be taking students all the way up until February. So for more information, please feel free to reach out. You can find me at my email address is josephadamshealing@gmail.com. And so I look forward to talking more and more about all of these topics, all of these courses, because my goal is to spread light, bring clarity to what it means to master love, to enter the heart space, and how the heart is literally the end game. We want to master love. And this is the dimension in which we do not need to know how it works. All we need to do is to choose that we want to succeed. So thanks again, everyone. And I look forward to talking to you and seeing you all soon.